In this no-cut video, we're going to be analysing the digital marketing successes and opportunities of Touchland. Now, if you don't know Touchland, despite sounding like a Weekend album, Touchland is a fast-growing direct-to-consumer hand sanitizer brand from the US. They're doing some things really well, particularly on Instagram, and they've got some real opportunities for further growth. So we're going to analyze 5 opportunities for growth and 5 things that they're doing really well. Now, the 5 things that they're doing really well are all focused on Instagram, so that's where we're going to head over. The first thing to say about Touchland is they really get their target audience. As you start looking through their posts, you realize that they are selling to a very particular customer segment. This is really smart for something like hand sanitizer, which has it can feel quite commoditized. It can feel like a product that doesn't really have a lot of personality. So in order to give it personality, you need to choose a customer segment. They have clearly chosen women, and as you see when you scroll down the page, their content is focused on women. It's Sex and the City, it's whatever that is, Gossip Girl, is it? I'm not sure. One of those types of films, but their target audience knows this stuff, right? Their target audience is screaming at the screen right now. So they know their target audience, which is fantastic. Now, some of the posts that they're posting are like slap bang right with their target audience. For example, this nailed it. This is perfect Instagram content. They're also piggybacking off other trending brands as well. Love that. Another thing that they're doing really well is jumping on memes and trending topics. So this is, they jumped on this within a day or two of this stuff coming out, which was at the time of filming this really recently. Kim Kardashian's Met Gala costume, outfit, I don't know what the phrase is. Anyway, but they've jumped on this and they've added their Touchland hand sanitizer around Kim's neck. Really simple, really effective. Their target audience gets the reference. That's totally cool. The next thing that they do really well on their Instagram page is they're posting these sorts of scroll-stopping videos. They get that people head onto social media to see this type of stuff, not just being bombarded with promotional posts by brands. At least they get that on Instagram. We'll come back to some of their other channels later. So this is great, and they've kind of tied it in, made it topically relevant by talking about one of their particular flavors of hand sanitizer. Another thing that they're doing really well is running giveaways. Giveaways are fantastic because you get outsized engagement from your target customer. Now here they've given away this KUB, this Cub Smart Dispenser, and you can see that they're asking people to follow, and there's loads and loads of engagement from people who want to win this. The other great thing about giveaways is that your target audience start visualizing owning the product. If they don't win, then they're much more likely to purchase. And the final thing that they really do well on Instagram is that they're amplifying social proof. So that can be as simple as finding one random tweet which has very little engagement where someone has searched for Touchland. So it's clear from this, they're doing searches on Twitter to see who's talking about Touchland. They've just screenshotted this, posted it, and it's getting really good engagement because it's just amplifying social proof. They do this a few times, people tweeting or posting about things, little quote tweets. They'll just post something that one of their followers or something that somebody out there has said. So those are the 5 things they're doing really well, all different content types on Instagram. Okay, now for opportunities. Just to prove that no one nails it 100% of the time, here's their Facebook page. Way fewer likes on Facebook than they have on Instagram. Less than 10% of the likes they have on Instagram on Facebook. Now, to an extent, that's fair enough because maybe their target audience isn't as active on Facebook. However, they're also not trying as hard on Facebook. So most of the Facebook stuff is promotional. If you look at these posts, it's mostly just promotional stuff. Gone are the engaging, piggybacking on trends type stuff that you see on Instagram. Also, their posting frequency is so much lower. Okay, so here we are for the last, so I'm filming this on the 17th of September. Looks like the last post we had was the 5th of September, 2nd, 30th of August, so they're posting nowhere near as frequently. It's almost like they've given up on Facebook, which is a shame. They are running ads on Facebook and Instagram and Audience Network and Messenger. This is their second opportunity for growth because whilst they're running ads, they're hardly running any creative at all. Right, they've only got a few variations live at the moment. This is massive opportunity. I would love to see them testing, boosting user-generated content as well, and using some of that in their ads because that can be a great way of getting on the radar of people without being overly promotional. The next thing that they could do better, their TikTok account. Now, whilst they're using TikTok, it doesn't really feel like they've gone all in. Again, we've got overly promotional stuff here, and whilst in some cases they're trying to piggyback on trends by using trending songs and audio, they're not really doing this in a native way. They're being a bit overly pitchy about it. It's like inviting that salesperson to your party and they're kind of being like, yeah, this is a great party. Do you want to buy my stuff? Yay, I'm having really fun. Do you want to buy my stuff? So I think they could be a lot more native on TikTok here. They've got products which could be great on TikTok, but you have to get this, if you're going to hop on a meme, don't just add the meme song to an ordinary promotional post. You have to do something that ties in with the meme. So play the game. Don't be like the weird person that's kind of there but just there to sell. Next thing that they could do, SEO. They've got some opportunities with featured questions. So if you Google Touchland, which many people will do before they buy, and actually often you'll find with influencer and social first stuff, you'll see an increase in branded organic search and direct traffic because people are going to Google to find you. So people are going to be searching Touchland. One of the questions that comes up is, are Touchland hand sanitizers safe? Now the snippet that's coming through is from Business Insider. This actually to me looks like a very positive article, but the snippet that's being taken out is, according to the FDA, methanol is not fit for use in hand sanitizers because it's toxic. And there's a picture of Touchland there. Now, the impression that you would get from this is that Touchland hand sanitizers are not safe because they use methanol. Another related question is, does Touchland use methanol? So people are actually asking a question based on this article. Now, just to be clear, that's not what the article is saying. This is the wrong featured snippet. It shouldn't be used here because actually Touchland hand sanitizers are safe. They don't use this methanol. So it's completely misleading. But what they could do is they could own this featured snippet by answering these questions on their own website. So they could have a content section on their site all about the questions that people are asking. Make our Touchland hand sanitizers safe. One of the key questions, use featured snippet bait, so have a sentence at the top which can be used in a featured snippet, drive links to it and own this conversation yourself. The final opportunity we're going to look at today is these product pages. So if you go onto the site, if you go onto Power Mist, for example, you can see all of the different flavors that they've got, which is great. Now, they could boost this page a little bit by having a little bit more copy, a little bit of explanation about which flavors and stuff are most popular, all that type of stuff. But the real opportunity is on this page, because actually once you get onto this page, there's not a huge amount of info about this product. For example, I don't actually know how big it is. I can see that it's 30 mil, but how does that look in the hand? No idea. So what I would do if I were them is I'd make a product video which explains it, maybe has some influencers, maybe has influencers or people that are online talking about their favorite flavors, right? Because we see that berry mist with the dog licking the thing. Let's make these product pages replicate the experience that people are getting on Instagram, where people are really engaging. So they could be much longer, they could be more detailed. At the moment, they are extremely short. So tons of opportunity with this. So there you have it. 5 good, 5 opportunities for growth. Certainly there's a lot that we can learn from their Instagram page, things that they're doing really well, but there are also things that we can learn from how they're using Facebook and TikTok, or maybe not using them so much because they don't appear to be native. And then of course, we've got never, ever neglect your SEO, because people will always be heading to Google to search for your brand. Hope you found that useful. Subscribe to the Exposure Ninja YouTube channel if you like this sort of thing. We release at least 1 video a week. And also don't forget that if you want help with your digital marketing, you can request a free website and digital marketing review from the team here at Exposure Ninja. Just go to exposureninja.com. Click the big button. We'll ask you a few questions about your business and your digital marketing and your goals. One of our team will then record you a 15-minute walkthrough video showing you how to generate more leads and sales through your website, completely bespoke to you, analyzing your website, your competitors, and your opportunities for growth. So go to exposureninja.com/review to request your free review video today. And we're done. No edits. Boom.